In 1974, Ron decided to run for Congress, attempting to become the first Republican ever to represent the area in the House of Representatives. They told him he was crazy to try such a thing, that he had no chance.
When Ron told me he was going to run for Congress, I couldn't believe it. I told him that it was something that I felt that he had to really think about, and he wanted to know, why I was so worried about it. And I said, well, Ron, you'll be elected, because when people hear what you have to say and they know that you mean it, they're going to elect you. And he said, no. He said, you can't run against Santa Claus. And everyone wants someone to bring home the pork barrel. And I just want to give people their freedom. And I said, but Ron, when you tell them that, they're going to believe it. And you are going to be elected.
With the help of friends like baseball great Nolan Ryan, Ron Paul was elected to Congress. He served 7 years, putting his conservative philosophy on the line in vote after vote. He was an early supporter of Ronald Reagan and led the Texas delegation for Reagan at the 1976 Republican Convention. Personable and well-liked, he was a Republican star in the annual congressional baseball game. He never once voted to raise taxes, and at the end, they called him the taxpayer's best friend. And always, when the House was not in session, he returned to Texas, to his constituents, his medical practice, and his family.
I strongly support Ron Paul. We very badly need to have more representatives in the House who understand in a principled way the importance of property rights and religious freedom. Milton Friedman.
In my politics over the years, I have followed certain principles that I believe that I am obligated to remain consistent to. Fortunately, those principles that I have developed are consistent, I believe, very sincerely, with the Constitution. And the Constitution and the founders of this country really believed in limited federal government. They allowed options for the states, but it was to be very, very limited. In this century, I think we have gone a long way to drift away from these principles of limitation of government power. I believe it's a moral issue more than anything else. I don't believe the federal government has any business in education. It ought to be a local or state matter. And we ought to start by getting rid of Bill Clinton's liberal program, Goals 2000, because it will poison the mind of every single child. The NAFTA agreement was a big mistake. It's done nothing for free trade, and all it's done is increase government regulation and has destroyed 1 million jobs, according to the New York Times. We need congressional term limits. Only Congress can do this because the courts won't let it be done any other way. I believe that it's very urgent. I introduced legislation even back in the 1970s to limit terms, and the sooner we get it, the better. The liberals say we have to raise taxes in order to balance the budget, but we've raised taxes time and time again, and the deficit never goes down. We need to cut taxes, and we need to cut spending.
I thought he did a great job, as he usually does. He's very versed in the issues and handles it very well.
I'm very happy. Economically, I feel that he's on target. We have a lot of difficulties that the government's facing right now, and we need somebody to continue to speak and say, hey, look, this is what's happened in the past of history. Let's not repeat it. Let's just do it right this time, finally.
I am impressed with anybody who wants to uphold the traditional values, and I think we need more people like Ron Paul who will stand up for family values.
This was a country doctor, and Ron Paul was his name. He lives down south of Houston, here's how we came to fame. He left his farm and practice, he left his family. Went up north to Congress to fight for you and me. Well, the year was 76, my friends, but our country wasn't free. neighborhood too.
I believe after the 96 elections, we have the best opportunity in my lifetime to really change America for the better. If we get a new president, control of Congress, we could really shrink the federal government and free up the economy and expand personal freedoms. We could pass good bills like term limits and repeal bad ones like Goals 2000. With my experience and my outlook, I think I would be in a position to provide some real leadership. That's why I decided to run. We may never again have a chance like this, ever. We've got to do it now.
Medical doctor, Air Force officer, husband, father and grandfather, former congressman, conservative conscience of Congress, the taxpayer's best friend. Ron Paul is all of these. Now he's running for Congress again. We taxpayers can send the taxpayer's best friend back to Congress with our vote to fight for a balanced budget and a smaller government. The time is right. The message is clear. The man is Ron Paul.